Hello everyone! In this video, we're going to crochet this Jasmine flower throw blanket. There are two crochet hook sizes. We'll use a 3.0 millimeters hook for the main body and the leaves, and a 2.0 millimeters hook for crocheting with the white yarn. The size is marked on the hook handle. Also, prepare your own stitch markers, yarn needle, and scissors. These are the contents included in the yarn kit. We'll crochet this Jasmine flower blanket. This part right here is the final round. There are 50 rounds in total. There are more than 30 jasmine flowers, 15 green buds, and 15 white buds. Let's follow the video tutorial together and crochet along. Here on the table are two small swatches in different colors I made. You can choose the color combinations you like. Let's start crocheting the center section. The diagram shown at the top of the screen covers the pattern from round 1 up to just before the motif section, which ends at round 46. If needed, take a screenshot of that part. Now let's follow the video to crochet it. I'll use purple yarn to demonstrate. In round 1, we start with a magic ring and crochet 12 double crochets. Use the 3.0 millimeters hook. Hold the yarn tail and let's start the foundation ring. Place the yarn over your pinky finger. Wrap the working yarn over your index finger. Then make a loop around your middle finger with the working yarn. Use your index finger to keep the yarn tension straight. Insert the hook into the loop. Yarn over like this. Pull the yarn through the loop to form the starting stitch. Then chain 2. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. If it feels hard to pull the yarn through at this step, it's because your stitches are too tight. There's no space to move. So if your stitches are tight, lift your hook slightly upward to loosen the loop. That will create some space. Then yarn over and pull through the loop. Next, yarn over and pull through the remaining loops on the hook. These two chains count as the starting chain for the round. Now crochet 12 double crochets into the magic ring. Yarn over your hook like this. Insert the hook into the magic ring on your finger. Push through. Then, yarn over. This means the hook catches the yarn. Pull the yarn through the ring. You now have 3 loops on the hook. 1, 2, 3. Next, yarn over again. Pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Then, yarn over once more, and pull through the remaining 2 loops. That's 1 double crochet completed. Now, if you pull up the loop slightly, insert the mark from the side. You'll see the V shape at the top of the stitch. Take a look again at the beginning. We chained 2 at the side. That's at the edge here. Those chains only provide height for the round. The real top of the first double crochet starts here with this stitch. Now you can remove your finger from the loop. Hold the loop and yarn tail in place while you work. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the ring. Yarn over and pull through. You now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over again, and pull through the last 2. Yarn over again. Insert into the magic ring. Yarn over again. The hook catches the yarn here, then pull it through the ring. You now have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over again. Pull through the last 2. That's your 4th double crochet. Take your time with the yarn over steps. For beginners, it's helpful to repeat the steps slowly a few times. The more you practice, the more familiar you'll get. You can rewatch this part. Now we've crocheted for double crochets. There will be 12 double crochets in round 1. Let's complete them. Here's the 5th stitch. 6th stitch. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12 double crochets for the first round are now complete. For the 12th stitch, insert your mark from the side again. Catch the top of the double crochet. You can count the stitches. Start counting from the stitch marker at the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Once confirmed, pull on the yarn tail on this side to tighten the magic ring. Pull it tight so the center closes up. Make sure that hole in the middle disappears. Now let's join the round. Insert the hook into the first double crochet. Make sure the hook goes through the top V of the stitch. Bring the yarn tail upward, placing it over the hook. Pull the yarn through the first stitch. That completes a slip stitch. Pull the front loop through the back loop on the hook. The round is now joined with 12 double crochets in total. Next, we'll begin round 2. Start by chaining 2, yarn over, and pull through once for the first chain. Now the second chain. Now remove the stitch marker from the first stitch. The pattern for round 2 is 1 double crochet increase, 1 chain, repeated 12 times. Insert the hook into the first stitch where the marker was. Make sure you go under the V at the top. Insert your hook like this. Tuck the yarn tail in while working to hide it as you crochet. Pull the yarn through 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. That's 1 double crochet made. This is the first stitch of round 2. Each round starts with 2 turning chains. Then you start your actual stitches. This double crochet is the first stitch of the round. So we've made the first double crochet into the same stitch. Insert the hook again into the same stitch as before. Make another double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through the remaining 2. Now we make 1 chain stitch. Yarn over and chain 1. Now that's completed. You've worked 2 double crochets into the same stitch. This is an increase. Then added a chain stitch. Repeat this combination 12 times. For the second set, insert into the next stitch. You'll see a V-shaped top. It looks like a little chain. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the next stitch. As you're working round 2, make sure to keep the yarn tail on the hook. This way you can hide the yarn tail as you go. Pull the yarn through 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then yarn over and pull through the last 2. Now yarn over again and insert into the same stitch. You can lift the stitch slightly to make the hole more visible. Insert the hook again. That means you're working into the same stitch twice. This is a double crochet increase. Then make 1 chain stitch. Second set complete. Now repeat the third set. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch. Place the yarn tail on top again, yarn over, and pull up a loop to work a double crochet. Then yarn over, insert into the same stitch as before. Make 1 more double crochet. You've now done 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. A double crochet increase, then chain 1. That's another full set complete. Now on to the fourth set. Remember to keep the yarn tail on the hook. You'll hide it as you crochet. Make 1 double crochet. Into the same stitch. Make another 1. That completes the double crochet increase. Then chain 1. I've now demonstrated the first 1, 2, 3, 4 sets for you. The rest is just repetition. Finish this round by working all 12 sets. Round 2 is double crochet increase plus 1 chain. Repeat this method. Continue until you reach the last joining point of the round. This here is the 12th set. Now complete this final set. Yarn over, insert the hook into the last stitch. You should have hidden the yarn tail as you go. Yarn over and pull through and make a double crochet here. Into the same stitch, make another double crochet. 2 stitches in 1. That's a double crochet increase. After that, make a chain stitch. Each set ends with a chain stitch. Always make sure there's 1 chain, divided visually into 12 sections. Now once you finish this is the back side. The yarn tail is already hidden, so just trim it off. Now let's join with the first stitch. Go through the top chain of that stitch. Pull the yarn through. Make a slip stitch, pull the yarn through the loop. Draw the yarn from front to back to complete the join. That connects the round. Next, we move on to round 3. First, chain 2. This is the turning chain. It doesn't count as a stitch, it just sets the height. So the height is now set. Remove the stitch marker from the start. Yarn over. Insert into the first stitch where the marker was. Pull up a loop and work 1 double crochet. The round 3 pattern is double crochet increase, 1 chain. Repeat this 12 times. Mark this first double crochet stitch. Let's emphasize this again. At the beginning of every round, those 2 chains on the side, they're just turning chains, not actual stitches. Then in the next stitch, work a double crochet increase. We've already covered how to do that in the last round, so now we'll apply that again. Yarn over, go into the next stitch. Insert your hook into this spot. And here, make an increase. That means working 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Then, in the same stitch again, work another double crochet. Now continue with 1 chain stitch. That completes the set. DC increase, 1 chain equals 1 set. Let me demonstrate the second set again. Yarn over and insert the hook into the next stitch. Remember, in the previous round, there's a chain above here. It creates this gap. Do not insert your hook into that. If you do, your lace pattern, the texture will be disrupted. Our insertion point is right here. It's in the stitch of the double crochet. Look at the post of the double crochet. We're inserting into the top of that stitch. In other words, the gap beneath the chain is skipped. We don't crochet into that, it's just a space. No stitch needed there. So insert the hook into the top of the double crochet and make a double crochet. Then yarn over, and in the next stitch make a double crochet increase, which means 2 DCs in one stitch. 1 double crochet and another in the same stitch. Then crochet a chain stitch, double crochet increase, plus 1 chain. This completes the second group. Let's continue with the third group. Yarn over. Remember, the gap under the chain stitch. We skip it and don't crochet into it. You'll see the chain from the top. Just skip the gap. Insert here and work a double crochet. Next stitch, make a double crochet increase. 1 double crochet here. Then 1 more in the same stitch. 1 first, then another in the same stitch. Then crochet a chain stitch. That completes the third group. Now continue following this pattern. Complete all 12 groups in this round. When you reach the end, finish it on your own. Round 3 is DC, DC increase, and a chain stitch. All 12 groups are complete. Each group includes a chain stitch. Don't forget it. That's what gives you 12 dividing lines. Now we insert the hook into the first stitch and join with a slip stitch. Next, we'll move on to round 4. At the beginning of each round, always chain 2. Why in each group's beginning? The first one seems to have an extra stitch line. That's actually correct. It's not a problem. Just go ahead and chain 2 as usual. The chain is simply to build height before the stitches begin. So this group ends up having 2 extra chains. We'll work 1 double crochet here. This is the first stitch of this round market. Yarn over next stitches here. Work a double crochet, increase 2 stitches. First, 1 double crochet. Then in the same stitch, another double crochet. That's your increase completed. Now yarn over again into the next stitch and make 1 double crochet. Next, let's crochet a chain stitch. This chain marks the end of a group. This entire stitch group is complete. Now look at the increased position. It's shifted to the center. There's 1 single stitch on each side. Take a good look at the pattern. Let me demonstrate the second group again. Yarn over. Don't insert into the chain. Go into the top of the DC stitch. Work 1 double crochet. Next stitch, do a double crochet increase. Insert into the next stitch and work 2 DCs here. First, 1 DC, then another DC in the same stitch. Yarn over. Now work 1 DC in the next stitch. Then make 1 chain stitch. That completes this group. Let me demonstrate the third group. Yarn over. Insert into the top of the DC stitch and work 1 DC. Next, work a DC increase in the next stitch. 2 double crochets in the same place. Then in the next stitch, make 1 double crochet. Then add 1 chain stitch. Repeat this 12 times to complete the 4th round. Now we'll join to the first stitch. Finish this round with a slip stitch. Next, we'll crochet round 5. 4 odd-numbered rounds like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. The increase is made. At the last stitch of each group, like this section here, this stitch is the last one of the group. You can also tell by the gap. Before the gap is the end of the group, right here is the last stitch. First, make 2 chain stitches. This is the turning chain. For round 5, the pattern is 3 double crochets, 1 double crochet increase, and 1 chain to form a group. Repeat for 12 groups. You can place a marker on the first stitch of each round. Then continue. 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And 1 more in the following stitch. That gives us 3 double crochets. Now the next stitch marks the last stitch of the group. This is the end of the group, or just look right before the gap. Insert into this stitch and do a DC increase, 1 double crochet first, then another one in the same stitch. Now crochet 1 chain stitch. This forms 1 group. 3 DCs, 1 DC increase, and 1 chain. Let's work the second group. Yarn over. See the gaps on both sides. This whole block is 1 group. Insert into the DC stitch. Crochet 1 double crochet. Then continue in order. Second DC, and then third DC. Now reach the end of the group. Check just before the gap. You'll easily find the spot. In this stitch, do a DC increase, first 1 DC, and then another DC in the same spot. The double crochet increase here is finished. Now crochet 1 chain stitch. Now let me demonstrate the third group. Go into the next group section, start from this double crochet stitch and make 1 DC. Then the next stitch is the second DC. We're counting stitches in this group. Next stitch is the third DC. Then the last stitch in this group, we'll do a double crochet increase. First make 1 DC, then another one in the same stitch. Once the increase is done, add a chain stitch. So as you can see here, you just need to follow the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round 5 is an odd number. In odd-numbered rounds, the increases are all at the end of each group. Each round is connected like this. Since I've shown 3 groups, just repeat them. Finish the whole round and then join. Okay, now I've finished round 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The pattern is 3 DC, 1 DC increase, and 1 chain. Now we'll join to the first stitch with a slip stitch. Next, we'll start round 6. Fold the work like this to hold it comfortably. First, make 2 chain stitches. Remember, the rule for even rounds, the increase goes in the middle. Remove the stitch marker from the first stitch. For this round, yarn over, insert hook, and pull through. Make 1 double crochet. Then in the next stitch, make the second DC. In the next stitch, do a DC increase, insert into the next stitch, and make 2 DCs into the same stitch. Now the increase is done. Then, in the following stitches, we still have 2 more DCs to make. 1 DC and another DC. Now make 1 chain stitch. Next, insert the hook into the top of this double crochet and crochet 1 double crochet here. You can also look at it this way. Count the number of double crochet posts in the group. The increase in the center counts as 2 stitches. So you'll count up to 4 to 5. There are 5 stitches total, so the center stitch of the 5 is where the increase goes. Work the increase right in that middle stitch. So we have the first 2 double crochets. In the next stitch, work a double crochet increase. That's the center of the group. The increase is in the middle. Then, on the other side, work 2 more double crochets. And finish this group with 1 chain stitch. Repeat this pattern for the round. Complete all 12 groups in the round. So for round 6, to DC, 1 DC increase, 2 DC, 1 chain. All 12 groups in the round are complete. Now join to the first stitch. Next is round 7. Round 7 is an odd-numbered round. In odd-numbered rounds, we place the increase in the last stitch of the group. First, start with 2 chain stitches. Insert the hook into the first stitch and make 1 double crochet. We'll continue working double crochets in order. Yarn over and insert into the next stitch. Work the second double crochet, then into the next stitch, make the third, fourth one, and the fifth. So we've worked 5 double crochets in order. Now for this group, the last stitch of the group needs an increase. That is the stitch right before the gap. Yarn over, insert the hook, and work 1 double crochet. Then in the same stitch, make another double crochet. Now work 1 chain stitch. That's 1 group. 5 DCs, 1 increase, and 1 chain. That finishes the first group. Let me show you the second group. The rest will follow the same pattern. Look at the second group now. Look at the gaps on both sides. This section is clearly separated. Start from the first double crochet in this group. We're going to make a double crochet here. Then the second stitch. Third. Fourth. Fifth. In the next stitch, we make a double crochet increase. First 1 DC, then another in the same stitch. After that, work 1 chain stitch. That finishes the second group. 5 DCs, 1 DC increase, and 1 chain. The rest of the round follows this pattern. So go ahead and complete all 12 groups for this round. Round 7 is now finished. Now for round 8, it's an even-numbered round. So we'll shift the increase to the center. Start with 2 chain stitches. Now insert the hook into the first stitch and make a double crochet. Then into the next stitch, make the second DC. Let's work in sequence for now. Next, the third DC. Then the fourth. That's for double crochets worked in order. Now shift the increase to the center. So in the next stitch, make the DC increase. Then on this side, we make another 3 double crochets. In even-numbered rounds like this one, we move the increase to the center. Then work 1 chain stitch. Here again, 1, 2, 3 double crochets, increase in the middle. Then another 3 double crochets and a chain. That's one group. Now let me show you the second group. Look at the gaps on both sides. This section is clearly defined. Start from this double crochet. Make 1 double crochet. In the next stitch, another double crochet. As you're following the explanation, odd rounds increase at the end. Even rounds move the increase to the middle. Now here, make the double crochet increase. That means working 2 stitches into 1. Then work 3 more double crochets on this side. 1, 2, 3. Then follow with 1 chain stitch. Complete all rounds from round 1 to round 46. Just follow the instructions shown at the start of the video. After finishing round 46, we'll now switch to this army green color. Here's an example, say you've just finished round 46. Alright, now it's complete. Join it to the first stitch with a slip stitch to close the round. Next, since we're changing colors, cut the main color yarn. Snip it and tidy up the yarn end. Pull it tight here. Now bring in the army green yarn and keep the yarn tail at the back. Yarn over and pull the yarn through. Start with 3 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3. These 3 chains will count as 1 double crochet. It's just a bit special here. Place a stitch marker in the 3rd chain stitch. Then make another 3 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3. Still working into the same stitch. Crochet a double crochet. Now remove the stitch marker. Yarn over. Insert the hook into that first stitch again, with the yarn tail lying over the hook, so it's held in place while you pull up a loop. Crochet a double crochet. You've created an upside down triangle pattern. Next, along the bottom edge here, we're going to skip 2 stitches. Skip these 2 and work the next triangle into the following stitch. The rest of the double crochets will be normal. It's just the start that's unique. Yarn over, skip 2 stitches, and go into the next one. Ignore the yarn tail at the back, we'll weave it in later. Pull the yarn through, crochet 1 double crochet. Then make 3 chain stitches. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and insert into the same stitch. Then crochet another double crochet. Once you finish, it forms an inverted triangle. Next, still follow the stitch pattern at the base. 1 stitch, 2 stitches. Skip these 2, yarn over to the next stitch. Work the next triangle. 1 double crochet, 3 chain stitches, and 1 more double crochet in the same stitch. Continue this lacy round in the same pattern. Just follow this method. Skip 2 stitches and work 1 double crochet, 3 chains, and another double crochet. That forms the inverted triangle pattern. Let's explain one more detail. When you're working on the lacy part, look at the stitches here. For example, here is an inverted triangle. Then you yarn over and skip 2 stitches. That chain space here, the chain stitch also counts as 1 stitch. Ignore it and skip over it. It does count 1 too. Then go into the next stitch to insert the hook. Crochet a double crochet. Then continue. 3 chain stitches. Skip 1 stitch and make another. So how do we know which stitches to skip? We look at the top stitches above. So when you get to the lace pattern, just count it as 1 stitch at the top. Work normally like that. When skipping 2 stitches, you may land right on a chain space. Yarn over like this, and after skipping 2, you're right at the space. You can insert your hook directly into the space and crochet the triangle pattern. So basically we follow the same pattern and continue in this direction. You can complete the rest of this round. Once the lacy round is complete, we'll attach stitch marker number 7. Insert the hook into the middle of that chain stitch. Pull the yarn through, make a slip stitch to join, pull the loop big, and cut the yarn. We'll change color in the next round. Pull the yarn through, tighten it a bit. Now take the main color yarn used for the blanket. Depends on the color you used. Bring that yarn over. Insert into the same stitch we joined earlier, still into the 3rd chain. This is counted as 1 stitch. Then we take this just changed yarn tail and hold it on top of the hook. Bring it to the left side. Then yarn over with the main color and pull it through. Now chain 2, 1, 2. Hold both yarn tails. In each of these triangle spaces, crochet 3 double crochets. with the yarn tail on top of the hook. Don't worry about the bottom yarn. We'll weave that in with the sewing needle later. Okay, crochet the first double crochet like this. Now the second double crochet, keep the yarn tails placed on top of the hook. Now turn it over and look at the back. You can see the tails are being woven in as we go. If you keep tucking it in, it'll start showing on this side. A little piece here, okay? Yarn over. Next triangle space, crochet 3 double crochets. So for this round, in each triangle space, crochet 3 double crochets. Repeat this for the whole round. Continue until the end of the round on your own. Now in this round, each triangle laced hole gets 3 double crochets. Continue this for the whole round. Once done, mark the last stitch of this round and join it with the first stitch. Slip stitch to connect and tighten. Now this is a small sample swatch I'm using. When you're actually working on the full blanket, you'll have reached round 46 here. The laced round is round 47, and this round we just finished is round 48. Next, we'll do one more round. That's the main color round of the blanket, round 49. The pattern here follows 46 double crochets. A double crochet increase per set. Repeat that to make 12 sets. Now round 49 is complete. Next, we'll change colors. We're still working on this blanket. That's this round. Once finished, we switch to army green. This last stitch is where we do a double crochet increase. Insert the hook into the middle of the double crochet, into the little gap in the center. Let's look ahead. You can see there's a strand in front. Pull it through like this. It forms a diagonal point toward the upper left. Okay, now bring in the army green yarn. Pass it behind the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull through here. After pulling through, drop the previous main color yarn downward. Now it naturally falls to the back. Next, go into the first stitch. Place both the new green yarn and the main yarn on top of the hook. Yarn over, pull through and slip stitch to join. Tighten it, the round is complete and the color is changed. You can mark this last stitch. Now with the new color, chain 2 to begin the next round. We're starting the next round. Hold the yarn tails on top of the hook. You can crochet over 5 or 6 stitches. 6 or 7 stitches should be enough before trimming the tails. We'll talk more about hiding the tails later. You'll sew and weave in the ends. Make 1 double crochet yarn over. Insert into the next stitch. Keep those yarn tails on top of the hook. Pull the yarn through. That's the second double crochet. Insert into the next stitch for the third double crochet, following the blanket's stitch count. Alright, just keep working row by row, like this. Yarn over and work a double crochet. After a few stitches, you can cut off the yarn tail. As you crochet, the tail gets wrapped inside, then just snip it off. Let me show you again here. Remember we had some leftover yarn tails earlier? Those leftover yarn tails. Here's how to deal with them. Thread the yarn through a tapestry needle. I'll show you using one example. Once you've threaded the needle, follow the same color open work pattern here. Weave the needle along the open lace stitches. Stitch along the top of it. Once pulled through, you can double back, catching just one thread. Just one thread like this. Here's a loop. Stitch through the loop and the line you just wove. Press it down and pull through to form a knot. Then continue weaving it again. Sew it in further along the stitches, just so like this. Neaten the strand, and you can sew one more pass. It's fine to secure it with multiple passes. Gently pull to tighten it a little. Then weave back through again. You can do several passes like this. Then trim off the excess. That's how to sew in long yarn tails. Same goes for other colors. The main color is the same. Just use a tapestry needle. Sew it along the stitches of the same color. Sewing in any direction is fine. Pull one strand out through the loop. If the yarn is short, double back. Sew it again like this. Now take the round we just talked about. Complete the whole round. Once you finish round 50, join to the starting stitch. Next, we'll crochet round 51. That's this round here. In this round, we'll do 48 double crochets, then a double crochet increase. Repeat for 12 sets. Start with 2 chains. Start with a double crochet into the first stitch. Then continue in sequence. Work 1 stitch into each corresponding stitch. Second double crochet, third stitch. After working 48 stitches, do a double crochet increase. That completes 1 set. Repeat this pattern 12 times. Let's look at an example from the blanket. Here are the 2 starting chains. Then 1 double crochet, second double crochet. Continue 1 to 1 in order. Then work your way to this side. Over here. This is the 48th double crochet. Then the next stitch is a double crochet increase. There are 2 stitches here, that's 1 set. Then start the second set. 1, 2, 3. Work across to here. That's the 48th stitch. Next stitch, do a double crochet increase. Just finish this round on your own. Continuing from earlier, we're now on round 51. That's this part of the blanket. This 51st round, 48 double crochets, 1 increase. 12 sets total, the round will have 600 stitches. 600 stitches total. Next, we'll work the final round. Round 52 follows the pattern of 10 double crochets, then 1 leaf. 10 double crochets, 1 leaf. This gives you 60 leaves in total. When assembling, stitch a large flower on top. Add a white bud afterward. 1 big flower, 1 green bud. Stagger them like that. The buds and leaves are sewn on afterward. So now, let's see how to crochet the leaf round. You don't need the marker anymore. Just place it at the first stitch of the round. First, chain 2 stitches. Remove the stitch marker. Now we'll crochet 10 double crochets in order. Start here, insert into the first stitch, and crochet 1 double crochet. Next stitch, work the second double crochet. Next stitch, third stitch, crochet them 1 by 1 in order. Count as you go, 4th stitch. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10 double crochets are done. Now we'll crochet the leaf, chain 10 stitches in total. To make a chain, yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on the hook. Make sure there's some space in your loop. If your yarn is too tight, wrapped tightly around the hook, you'll find it hard to pull the yarn through. So manage the tension yourself. Yarn over and make the first chain. Yarn over again, make the second chain. Yarn over and make the third. Count as you go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Once you've chained 10, turn back and make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. The loop on the hook doesn't count, it's just for holding. Here's the last chain. See the V shape? Last one. Second to last one. Once you've found it, insert the hook and do a single crochet. Insert your hook into the second to last chain, right in the center of the V. This top thread on the little chain, we're holding it horizontally now, is the top strand. Yarn over, pull the yarn through, yarn over again, pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. Use a stitch marker. That's just to help you mark the spot. And as you crochet, you'll notice the little hole underneath gets bigger. Now, yarn over, move to the next stitch to the left. Insert into the center of the next chain. Pick up the top strand of the chain. Yarn over and pull through. Normally you'll have 3 loops on the hook. Pull through all 3 loops at once. That's a half double crochet. Next, we'll crochet 5 double crochets in a row. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next chain. 1 stitch per chain. Here's 1 double crochet. Insert into the next chain. Pull up the yarn, that's the second double crochet. Next chain, insert the hook. Pull up the yarn for the third. As you pull through the yarn, the next hole will also get bigger. So now you can clearly find the 4th double crochet. And continue with the 5th. Once the 5 double crochets are done, we'll make 1 half double crochet. Yarn over, insert into the next chain. Pick up the top loop and pull through. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. We're at the very bottom of the chain. This is the first chain at the base. Insert the hook into the center of that chain. Pull up the yarn through it. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's a single crochet. That completes one side of the leaf. At this point, take a stitch marker and mark the single crochet you just made. It's near the corner of the stitch. When crocheting the other side of the leaf, we'll use this single crochet as a reference point. Next, we'll make a slip stitch at the base to find the insertion point. Look at this side here. Follow the order and go to the 10th double crochet. Identify the correct stitch based on its shape. The top of the stitch forms a V. Insert the hook right in the middle of the V of the double crochet stitch, straight through the center of the V. Then bring it through the next strand in front, forming one insertion point. It's hard to describe this part clearly in words, so you need to watch the video. Insert your hook into the center of the V of the double crochet stitch. Then go further forward. Pull through one strand. It forms a sharp point angled upward. Pull through, yarn over, and draw it through. Pinch the edge while slip stitching through the back loop. Done. After finishing, bring the leaf over like this. Hold it in your hand. Turn it around. Now we'll crochet the other half of the leaf. Match the leaf shape accordingly. The stitch marker we added earlier helps you locate the starting point for this side's single crochet. Check and lift it slightly. Insert your hook into this spot. Yarn over, pull through, and make a single crochet. Next, we'll crochet a half double crochet. Yarn over with your hook. Insert under the base of the front slant. This corresponds to the other side's half double crochet leg. Pull the yarn through, then yarn over and go through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet. Now we'll continue with 5 double crochets. The bottom of the slanted lines on this side, that's the insertion point. 1 double crochet. Next, the second double crochet. The stitch leg, this is the 3rd double crochet. 4th one. 5th, that completes 5 double crochets. Next, crochet 1, half double crochet. You've now reached the edge. Take a look here. It started with a single crochet, then a half double crochet. The 2 sides of the leaf match perfectly, so the sequence is aligned on both sides. Pull up a half double crochet. Now we're back on top. The line comes down vertically like this. Insert your hook and make a single crochet. Now the full leaf is completed. Next step, we go to the stitch where we marked earlier. Insert into that stitch. Right above that, through the V. Yarn over your hook. Pull the yarn through and make a slip stitch. Grab the front yarn and pull it from the back loop. Then continue with the next stitches. Observe the stitches along this side. Insert the hook into the stitch and yarn over. Slip stitch and pull through the back loop. Don't pull the slip stitches too tight here. Insert yarn over and pull through. Slip stitch, next one, insert and pull through. This is to help the yarn transition downward, so that it flows smoothly down to the base. Then continue with 10 double crochets and another leaf. No need to cut the yarn. Reach the bottommost position and slip stitch there. That's one side. So we've transitioned from the top to the bottom smoothly. After this transition, look at the side here. We pick up this part from the edge. See, right on the edge. Grab this one strand. That's the last double crochet on the edge. It has a strand on the very outer edge, if you don't insert here. There'll be a large gap between the leaves. That area might look too loose. This way, it tightens the gap and looks neater. Let me show this part again. Insert into the side post of the double crochet. There's a strand above it, right at the edge. Slip stitch like this. Okay, after that, next, yarn over like this. Start the next stitch with a double crochet. Next, the second one. 3 key, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then continue, just like we did earlier. You can rewind and review this part. It's explained slowly and clearly. I won't repeat it too slowly here. This is a slow-paced part. Feel free to go back and review. I'll demonstrate again with you. After chaining 10, go to the second from the end. Make a single crochet. That completes the first leaf. Next chain, insert in the middle and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 3 loops. That's a half double crochet. Now 5 double crochets in a row. 1. Next. Second. Next. Third. Next. Fourth. Next. Fifth. Okay, next stitch, crochet a half double crochet, insert and pull up a loop. Half double crochet, next stitch, single crochet, Then insert your hook through the V of the double crochet stitch. Insert downward through the center. Then slide under one more loop, yarn over and slip stitch, rotate the leaf over. Insert into the top of the opposite sides single crochet. Follow the earlier explanation. Mark the single crochet with the stitch marker. Then a half double crochet, then 5 double crochets in a row. Once you're familiar, you won't need a marker anymore. Second one, 3. For fifth one, then make a half double crochet. Then up top, make a single crochet. All right, we've reached the tip of the leaf. Now begin inserting the hook. Slip stitch to connect like this. After connecting, we continue with slip stitches. Insert into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3 key. For 5, 6, 7, 8. Down here, the 9th one, pick up the edge of that double crochet post. Grab the top part along the side, make a slip stitch, then continue with 10 double crochets. The remaining part is just repetition, so no need to demonstrate it slowly again. This way, there will be a little gap, but not too big. All right, just keep crocheting following this method. 10 stitches per leaf. This part explains the slow breakdown of the leaf. Keep going until you finish the entire round of leaves. Now, the leaves are done. There are a total of 60 leaves. Okay, I'll finish this one up. Insert the hook, pull the yarn through with a slip stitch. Slip stitch from the leaf down to the base. Now, insert the hook into the side double crochet. There's a strand of yarn here. Just insert the hook through like this. Slip stitch, and with the first stitch, yarn over, pull through to join, loosen the yarn, and cut it. Tighten it slightly. This yarn end will be sewn in later. I explained how to leave a long tail. Thread the yarn onto a tapestry needle. Weave it in from the back of the leaf. Now next, we'll work on the flower part, the jasmine flower. Let's crochet the flower section. Hide the tail of yarn like this. We'll use white yarn for the flower and a 2.0 millimeters crochet hook. I won't use white for the demo because it may be overexposed on camera. Take out white yarn for the flower. In the video, I'll use yellow for demonstration, using a 2.0 millimeters hook. Start with 6 single crochets in the first round. Wrap the yarn around your middle finger to make a loop. Pinch the crossover point, insert the hook into the center of the loop, yarn over, pull the yarn through the loop, then yarn over again and pull through the loop on the hook. If it's hard to pull through here, that means your loop is too tight. Adjust the tension accordingly. This is how it should go through smoothly. Chain 1 as a starting single crochet. Now crochet 6 single crochets into the loop. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. That's 1 single crochet. Hook under the V shape, catching the stitch properly, okay? Continue inserting into the circle. Yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops. That's the second single crochet. There should be 6 single crochets in the first round. This is the 4th, 5th stitch, 6th stitch. Now place a marker on the 6th stitch as well. Count your stitches again to confirm. Hold the yarn tail and tighten the magic ring. Now insert your hook into the first stitch. Go into the first stitch, push your hook slightly forward. Because the hook's thicker, it helps widen the space. Tighten the gap in the center of the ring, pull it tightly like this. Now there's no gap left. If you just pull the yarn tail directly, the first stitch may end up too tight. Place the yarn tail over the hook. Yarn over and pull through. Now make a slip stitch, catch the front yarn and pull it through from the back loop. That's called a slip stitch join. Look again at the ring. This is the first stitch. This is the 6th and final stitch. After the slip stitch join, a V shape will form. Just like a regular stitch V shape, we need to tighten the V formed by the slip stitch. Press on the little circle with your middle finger and pull up. Hold it down and lift up. It'll slide and tighten the center. If you try this and it doesn't work, maybe your technique isn't quite right. Pull the upper loop from the center ring, pinch here and twist to the right. That will also help tighten the ring. Okay, now we've finished the 6 stitches of round 1. Now let's move on to round 2. It's worked the same as round 3. Start by chaining 1 as a turning chain. Remove the stitch marker from the first stitch. Go through the stitch and place the yarn tail over the hook. Tuck in the yarn tail as you go. Work a single crochet. This is the first stitch of round 2 market. Then insert into the next stitch. Keep placing the yarn tail over the hook in this round. Tuck in the tail while crocheting. Next stitch, insert the hook. Work the 3rd single crochet. Next stitch, 4th single crochet. Insert 1 stitch at a time. 5th stitch. Finally, at the marked stitch, make the 6th single crochet. Okay, the 6 stitches of round 2 are done. Mark the 6th stitch as well to complete the round. This small section may curl upward slightly. We'll flip it over to the other side. Pinch it like this. It looks like a small cylinder at the base. Turn it around and align. Insert the hook into the first stitch we started with. Yarn over and pull through for a slip stitch. Join. Pinch it a bit. The base should resemble a small cylinder, the flower stem base. Don't cut the yarn tail yet. Now begin round 3. Chain 1 to begin. Remove the stitch marker. No need to weave in the yarn. Tail now. Now insert into the first stitch and pull through. Make a single crochet. Mark the first stitch of round 3. Hold the bottom and turn as you go. Make the 2nd single crochet in the next stitch. 3rd single crochet. Next stitch, 4th single crochet. Turn again like this, holding it, and go to the next stitch. 5th single crochet. At the last marked stitch, make the 6th single crochet. Insert the hook into the final stitch. Set the yarn tail aside. Okay, yarn over and make the 6th single crochet. Mark the 6th stitch as well. Now we've completed rounds 1, 2, and 3. Next, insert the hook into the first stitch from the beginning. Slip stitch to join, then pull tight. Now it looks like a little cylinder. This forms the flower base stem. Take the yarn tail and use something to tuck it inside. I'm using scissors to help push it in. You can use whatever tool you prefer. Just push it all the way inside. Make sure it's fully tucked in, not sticking out. Now insert into the loop again. Let's move on to round 4. Let's look at the image on the screen. Each stitch forms a V shape. There's 1 strand on the left side and 1 on the inside like this. When we crochet next, the stitch is on the outside. We insert the hook through the center of the V, picking up the outer loop. The inner loop is for the inner set of petals later. We'll use that for the innermost 3 petals. We'll work that later. So first, refer to the screen image to understand. Now chain 1 stitch to start. Now, look at the stitch marker. We place it on the first stitch. Look closely at the stitch. There are 2 strands, right? Insert through the center of the V. Pick out the back strand from the opposite side. This way, it's easier to see. Now remove the stitch marker. Then, mark the opposite strand first, so you don't lose track of it later. Mark it in advance. Then we pick up the front loop. The outer half of the stitch. See, this strand is the front half of the stitch. We just pick up this strand. Don't split it open. Insert through this single strand to crochet. Understand? Take a close look. It's the outer strand on the opposite side. Pick up this outer loop. This is called the front loop. This is the front half. Okay? Yarn over and pull through. Make 1 single crochet. Then take another stitch marker and mark this stitch. In the same stitch, insert the hook into the same outer loop and make another single crochet. That's a single crochet increase. In the next stitch, make the 2nd increase. Insert through the center, pick up the outer loop, pick up that front loop only. The inner loop is for petals later. Make 1 single crochet into the same loop, then another one. That's the 2nd increase. In the next stitch, just make 1 single crochet. See here, insert through the middle of the V, pick up the front loop. Make 1 single crochet. That's it. This is a pair of single crochet increases. 1 increase per group. Let's crochet the 2nd group. Next stitch, pick up 1 loop. Make a single crochet. In the same stitch, make another. Alright, continue to the next stitch. See, insert through the middle of the V again. Pick the outer loop, make 1 single crochet, then another in the same stitch. That's the 2nd increase for the final stitch. Just make 1 single crochet. Then the stitch marker placement is the same as before. Use a needle to split it down the center. Then place the stitch marker through the inner strand of the V. Attach it through the inside loop. The outer visible strand is the one we'll be picking up and working into now. Pick up the front loop only. Yarn over, make 1 single crochet. Okay, now round 4 is done. Join it to the first stitch. When joining, go through the entire stitch. Yarn over, pull through, make a slip stitch. Tighten after joining. Next, we'll crochet the petals. This jasmine flower has 13 petals in total. The method for each petal is the same. Okay, let's take a look first. Each petal consists of 3 layers. You need to understand the layering first. How are the layers differentiated? We're all moved to the inner loops, right? We started with 6 single crochets in the magic ring. So in this inner section, there are 6 inner loops used for petal stitches. These are for the innermost layer of petals, used to make the 3 petals at the center. Next, we'll start crocheting the outer petals. Where do we begin? We'll start with the outermost petals. Take a look. The full stitch looks like this. Insert the hook through the center of the V, go through the middle like this, pick up the front loop only. This is how you form the outermost layer of petals. The leftover inner loop will be used for the middle layer, and the deepest ones are for the innermost layer. Let's go step by step. 13 petals total. Each petal is crocheted the same way. Let me insert the hook into this ring and show you. Use 3 stitch markers for now. Don't use too many will get messy. These markers are placed on the inner loops. Follow the video instructions. First, chain 3. Now remove the stitch marker. Still the same method. Insert through the center of the stitch, pull the opposite loop out. See, now it's more obvious. Then place that inner loop to the side for now. Then yarn over like this with your hook. We'll pick up the visible outer loop. Just 1 front loop, pick up a single strand. Hold it in place and yarn over again. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. This is an unfinished double crochet stitch, meaning we only worked halfway through the stitch. We haven't completed it yet. Just leave it like this for now. We'll make a total of 5 unfinished double crochets. Here, I'll refer to them as half double crochets. Yarn over again and insert into the stitch. Still working through 1 loop. Pull up a loop. The loops on your hook will increase as you go. Don't worry about counting. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. That's your second half double crochet. Yarn over, insert the hook. Yarn over, pull through, bring it up evenly. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's the third half double crochet. Yarn over again, insert the hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. That's the fourth half double crochet. Yarn over, insert into the stitch, and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. The yarn consists of 4 strands. Avoid snagging any extra strands. That's the 5th half double crochet. Now we have 5 half double crochets. There should be 6 loops on the hook. Now we're going to pull through 2 loops at a time. Now, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. Pull it out, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. Like this. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the final 2. Good. Now everything is pulled through, so the petal consists of 2 layers. This is 1, and we'll add another on top. Do as I do, insert your hook through like this. First, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then yarn over. We'll be working into the same stitches we just identified. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, we'll insert into this one. Insert your hook into that ridge, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over again. Pull through 2 loops. That's 1 half double crochet. Yarn over again. Still insert into the top ridge here. This back ridge, pull up a loop and keep the height even. Don't make it uneven or lopsided. Keep it even. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's the second half double crochet. Yarn over. Find the next ridge. Pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, third half double crochet. Yarn over. Insert the hook, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's the fourth half double crochet. Yarn over. Go to the outermost ridge. Insert the hook. Pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 5th half double crochet. There should be 6 loops on your hook in total. The last one is from the starting chain. It holds the yarn. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through another 2 loops. Continue pulling through like this. Okay, now for the final pull through. There. It's done. That's 1 petal. This completes the tulier effect. Next, we're going to skip 1 back ridge. It's the same method as before. There are 5 half double crochets on top, so there are 5 back ridges. If you can't find it, just look from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're skipping the 5th one. Skip over the back ridge of that 5th stitch, or you can find it directly. Find the set of 3 chains next to it. This is the 5th half double crochet. Its top aligns with this horizontal bar. Skip this one. Go into the horizontal bar of the next stitch. The next back ridge, yarn over and pull through like this. Hold it properly. Next back ridge, yarn over and pull through. Second slip stitch, next back ridge. Third slip stitch, next back ridge. Fourth slip stitch. Along the top of this petal, we've done 4 slip stitches along the edge because the height is different. Between our half double crochets, there are no stitches on the side, but from the edge of this layer, pick up 2 strands from the side. Just insert your hook through. Insert it cleanly, don't tangle the yarn. There, pull up a loop for the 5th slip stitch. Where's the 6th slip stitch? It's between the 2 layers. There's a small gap along the edge right here. Alright, that's the 6th slip stitch. Insert through that little hole. Now we're at the bottom layer. There are no stitches on the edge. Just insert your hook through 2 strands along the side. Insert cleanly. That's the 7th slip stitch. Pull it through from the back loop. Just bring the yarn over like this. Now look at the very bottom. We'll work into the same base stitch. Work the 8th slip stitch. Alright, now we've finished 1 petal. Take another look at the detailed steps here. That completes our starting petal. Next, we move to the next stitch. Always work into the front loop only of these rings. Insert your hook into the middle of the V-shaped C. Pick up only the front loop of the stitch. Yarn over and pull through. Slip stitch to pull it through the ring behind. Now chain 3. After finishing the chain, we'll crochet the next petal into the next stitch. Earlier was the starting point, where we directly worked the first petal. Now for the rest, we'll repeat this method. After chaining 3, insert into the next stitches. Front loop only. Got it? From here, slip stitch and chain 3. Then in the next stitch, pick up the front loop only, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, that's 1 half double crochet. Yarn over. And again, insert into the front loop only. Pull through, second half double crochet. Yarn over, insert, pull through. Try to keep the tension even so it lays flat. That's your third half double crochet. Yarn over and insert again. Pull through, fourth half double crochet. Yarn over, insert, and pull through. That's your 5th half double crochet. Now you have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Continue pulling through to each time. First, chain 3. 1, 2, 3, done. We'll work into the 5th half double crochet just now. Yarn over and insert into this stitch, into the horizontal bar at the top of the 5th half double crochet. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. 2 loops. Next stitch, insert hook and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's the second half double crochet. Third half double crochet. Fourth half double crochet. 5th half double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops each time. Once done, both layers are completed. Next, follow along the edge here. We're going to slip stitch. Down to the bottom, the top horizontal bar of the 5th half double crochet needs to be skipped. Directly find the 5th half double crochet, the little bar on top of that stitch. This one, right here. See it? We skipped this one, no need to crochet into it. Go straight to the next bar, this horizontal bar here. Slip stitch once next bar. Second slip stitch, third slip stitch, fourth slip stitch. So there are 4 slip stitches on the top layer. Then the 5th slip stitch is on this row. There's no stitch here. You can improvise a bit. Just grab any 2 strands from the side. Insert cleanly along the side. That's the 5th slip stitch. The 6th slip stitch goes between the 2 layers. That's the 6th slip stitch. The 7th slip stitch is into the side of this layer. Just pick up the yarn. That's the 7th slip stitch. The 8th slip stitch goes to the bottom, back to where we started at the bottom. Insert into this spot. That's the 8th slip stitch. Now we've completed 2 petals. This petal will be flipped later on. Okay, for the second petal, we joined at the bottom with a slip stitch. Now we'll pick up the next stitch. Again, insert into the front loop only of the next stitch. Make a slip stitch and chain 3. Insert into the front loop of this stitch. This one is the 6th stitch in sequence. That's the correct position. Insert through the front loop only. This stitch is the 6th one. Make a slip stitch and chain 3. You can count backward like this. Count back 10, 9, 8, 7, and here's 6. Then you'll know it's correct. Double check yourself often, okay? Yarn over and pull through. At the 6th stitch, make a slip stitch and chain 3. Then yarn over and we'll pick up the next stitch. Pick up the front loop of the 7th stitch to crochet the petal. Actually, this part of the petal isn't hard to crochet. I'm just explaining it more thoroughly. Don't find it tedious. See, we crochet petals in round 7. There are 10 stitches. Count back 10, 9, 8, 7. It helps with checking your position. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then here again, we start crocheting the petal. For the petal, just refer to the earlier steps. Go ahead and complete the 4th petal. Okay, now I've crocheted the 4th petal down to the bottom. Join it to the bottom with a slip stitch. Now let's move on to the next stitch. There aren't many stitches left now. Count 10, 9, 8, then you'll know. We're picking up the front loop of the 8th stitch. This front loop here, make a slip stitch and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, then. We'll crochet the petal at the 9th stitch. Yarn over and pick up the front loop of stitch 9. Yarn over and pull through. Good. Pull through 2 loops. Good. Now go ahead and finish the 5th petal. Okay, 5 petals are now done. Make a slip stitch at the same base point. Now, you can see that there's just 1 stitch left in this round. With this remaining stitch, you can use a yarn needle to insert into the stitch space. On the opposite side, you'll see the inner front loop. Pick that up carefully. Once you pick it up, attach a stitch marker there. Now take out your hook for a moment. Hold on to this inner front loop strand. You'll see it clearly in your hand. Hook into it properly, keep it separated, and now place it on top. Pick up the missed front loop right here. See? It's clearly part of the stitch. From the outside loop, yarn over and slip stitch. Now the entire round is complete. Next, we start the second layer. How do we crochet the second layer? Look at the stitch marker here. You need to distinguish them. Here, the outer side here will be used to crochet the middle layer of petals. So adjust the position of the outer stitch marker. Insert through this strand. This round of petals will all be worked into front loops. What's left the inner back loop? This strand right here, go through it. Now you can remove the stitch marker. We don't need it anymore. After inserting through it, yarn over and make a slip stitch here. Transition to this round. Then chain 3. Next, we'll crochet a petal in the following stitch. Now, some of you might wonder, at the start, the first layer of petals was made by chaining 3 and then starting the petal right in the first stitch. Is it because this second layer of petals needs to be staggered from the previous layer? Petals shouldn't all be aligned in a straight line. The next layer's petals should fall between the previous 2. That gives it a tiered and staggered effect. So, yarn over and insert into the next remaining inner front loop. This strand right here, when you pick your loops here, make sure to distinguish clearly. Use a yarn needle like this to test. It won't move sideways. Then that's the right location. So now move the needle leftward and you'll find the next strand. That's 1 loop per stitch. Then go to the next stitch. See that? It's clearly connected. You have to clearly distinguish one from another. Some loops may look shorter. Why is that? It's because the outer petals we crocheted earlier pulled the yarn a little when we stitched them. When pulling the yarn like just now, the opposite strand gets tightened. The next loop may look a little longer. This round has a total of 10 inner front loops. It's easier to find the spot now. Between these 2 petals, you'll see a strand in the middle. Insert into it and pull the yarn through. Let's begin crocheting. This is the first petal of the second layer. Alright, second half double crochet. I won't go over petal stitches again. Just make sure to place them in the correct spot. Actually, for this flower, when you're crocheting the petals, after doing 1 or 2, you'll become more familiar, and the placement should be staggered. 1, 2, 3, oh. I added one too many here. I'll undo one stitch. There should be 6 loops. 6 loops means you've completed 5 half double crochets. All right, yarn over and pull through 2 loops at a time. Then chain 3 again. Pick up one inner front loop with a half double crochet. You can mark it yourself here. This part is a bit slow to demonstrate, okay? For this petal in the second layer, when you reach the bottom stitch hole here, just make a slip stitch at the base. Next, continue by picking up the following inner front loop. It's a bit shorter than the others. This loop is slightly shorter than the rest. Why? Because when we crocheted the petal layer, the opposite strand got tugged a little. That slight pull tightened it, so it's slightly taut now. You'll need to distinguish them yourself. Look here, trace to the left. You'll see the next loop clearly. It's right behind the petal. That's the one. Okay, yarn over and pull through. Then slip stitch 3 chains and a slip stitch at this spot. Then yarn over. Okay. Now, between these 2 petals, see that loop you picked up earlier? You can trace your previous slip stitch there. Follow along to the left in sequence. Go leftward 1 stitch at a time. Continue crocheting the second petal on your own. Now I've completed 2 petals in the second layer. If you lose count while crocheting, just check back. There are 5 in the first layer. Hold it in and tuck it inward like this. Then you'll know the second layer has to. Now slip stitch to the base again. You should gently hold the previous layer's petals, because while inserting the hook, it may accidentally catch other yarns. Sometimes it happens when inserting the hook. It might snag a strand. Even when I crochet, it happens. After making a slip stitch at the base, pick up the next strand. This one is right behind the petal. The inner front loop. Trace the yarn you're working with to the left. And when you insert the needle, you'll see how it's connected. Observe carefully and you'll easily find the right spot. Yarn over and slip stitch. Then chain 3. In the previous layer, I told you exactly which stitch to make petals in, and which stitch to slip stitch and chain 3 from. But in this layer, we won't do that. Here's why. You should go by the position, because this petal should be staggered. Between the 2 petals from the previous layer, no need to count exact stitches. Just follow the sequence and keep going. Yarn over. Pick up the next loop, see it. It's right between the 2 petals. All right, finish crocheting the 3rd petal. We're now on the 3rd petal of the second layer. Crochet it by yourself. Now I've finished the 3rd one. Next, pick up the following loop. That strand is right behind this petal. See, it's not exactly centered, but you can roughly see the correct position here. Yarn over and slip stitch. Then chain 3 stitches. Yarn over. Again, it's between the 2 petals. Look, this strand, you see the little hole above it? Trace it leftward and you'll find the connected strand. All right, yarn over. This is the 4th petal. At this point, you should be getting the hang of it. Once you're comfortable, you can crochet the rest directly. Just check that the joins look right. So far, we've completed 4 petals in the second layer. Okay, fold it downward like this. Then this 4th petal, slip stitch here at the bottom. Then continue to pick up the next loop. It's right behind this petal. Yarn over and make a slip stitch. Then chain 3. Now we've reached the stitch marker. Right here. We'll crochet the last petal of the second layer. So now we can remove the stitch marker. Everyone, go ahead and finish this 5th petal of the second layer. Yarn over and crochet it. Complete this petal nicely. Now we've finished all 5 petals of the second layer. Let's look back a bit. You can look from the bottom edge. The first layer has 5 fold them in a bit like this. Then look at the second layer. It also has 5 petals. Okay? Slip stitch to finish the 5th petal at the bottom. We no longer make slip stitches like before. We directly slip stitch into the base of the petals. Then connect to the inner part. See, there are 2 stitch markers here. Use the left one since we're crocheting in this direction. Remove the marker, yarn over and slip stitch. Now we transition to the innermost layer. This inner layer will have 3 petals. If the yarn tail shows up, which happens sometimes when snagged, just tuck it in a little. It might look messy otherwise, so don't leave the yarn tail too long. Just a short end and hide it inside. Now chain 3. 1, 2, 3, yarn over. See here, only 3 petals remain for the inner layer. It goes right between these 2. Then pick up this loop. When you look here, this yarn has a small hole connected to it's linked with the top yarn above. So pick that up. And now we begin crocheting the innermost layer of petals. You can crochet this petal on your own. What you need to pay attention to is the placement. Let me show you this part. Okay, like this. Complete the innermost petal. Since we're using 4 strands, it tends to pull tightly when raised. Yarn over and bring the yarn all the way through. Practice your hand technique a bit more. The first petal of the innermost layer is done. At the bottom here, where we first inserted the hook, we've already slip stitched. Next, look at the position how to find it. There's a horizontal yarn loop beside it, hanging across. Pick up this horizontal strand. Pick this yarn here. Observe more, watch the video, and see how it's done. Hold the work in your hands and examine it carefully. Okay, make a slip stitch here. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Yarn over. Then pick up the next loop. Look at the yarn lifting from the hole. It's hooked onto a small horizontal strand that curves around. Each strand is connected to the next. Once you've found one, yarn over and crochet through 2 loops. Then finish the second petal. Go ahead and crochet this petal on your own. The third layer, which is the innermost layer, now has 2 petals finished. Let's take a look. Slip stitch at the base of the petal to connect. Next, let's pick up the next loop. Look here, the yarn and the hole and the strand above it. It curves over from this side. Pick it up and yarn over. Slip stitch since the yarn is thick. Crochet more slowly. 1, 2, 3, done. Now we've reached the final stitch marker. Crochet the third petal. This round has 3 petals. Because the previous layer had 5, this petal here, it's not exactly between the 2 petals. But it's fine as long as there are 3 in total. Remove the stitch marker. We just follow the sequence of the yarn and stitch as usual. So now we're at the marker. This is the third one. Pick up this strand, yarn over. Now all the petals are complete. You can count there should be 13 in total. 5 on the bottom layer, 5 in the middle layer, and 3 in the innermost layer. After the third one, we'll directly connect back to the starting point. Actually, you can pick any spot to join. There are no fixed stitches, just go forward. As long as you can pick up a strand, connect it, yarn over, and pull through. Watch where I'm connecting. I'm picking up a strand under the petal from the previous layer. There's no stitch. Just pick up any strand and connect it directly. Pull the yarn through and cut it. Leave a bit like this. Sort out the yarn end and tighten it. Now we'll thread a tapestry needle. This tail will be used later to sew it on. Sew it onto the main part of the blanket, beside the leaves, then take the yarn and guide it downward to the base of the stem. Bring it down here. After that, we're going to take each petal and with your hand, press along the base like this. Just press it down. Flip them layer by layer like this. This one wasn't flipped well earlier, so press it like this. Make sure to adjust each layer like this. Now this little flower is completely finished. This is the bottom base. Next we'll make a total of 30 jasmine flowers. Once all 30 are finished, we'll move on to assembling them on the blanket. Next, let's look at the flower buds. Now we're going to crochet the buds. The method is the same. When using white yarn for the bud, we use a 2.0 millimeters hook. Use the hook that matches the yarn. When assembling, 1 green bud, 1 large flower, 1 white bud, 1 large flower, so we'll need 15 green buds and 15 white buds. I'll use army green to demonstrate. First, hold the yarn tail like this. Start with the magic ring. Crochet 10 double crochets into the ring. Go into the ring. Chain 2 to start. 1, 2, or even 3 is okay. Here I'm chaining just to insert into the ring, yarn over, and make a double crochet. Mark the starting stitch. Mark the top of the first double crochet. Then continue making stitches into the ring. A total of 10 double crochets. Since we've done many doubles before, we won't explain too much, just complete the count. 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 stitches complete, mark the 10th stitch. Now tighten the ring here so that there's no gap in the center. Pull it tight like this. Alright, once tightened, go back to the first stitch. Bring the yarn tail up and slip stitch to join. Tighten after joining. Now, flip the piece upward like this, just like this. Then chain 2. Round 2 will be 5 double crochet decreases. Remove the starting stitch marker. Yarn over. Insert the hook into the first marked stitch. Hold the tail over the hook. Yarn over again and insert the hook into the next stitch. Hold the tail over the hook like this. Now you have 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through all 3. That's 1 double crochet decrease. Place a stitch marker on the decrease stitch so you've decreased 2 base stitches into 1. After the decrease, you're left with 1 stitch on top. Don't worry about the yarn tail. Just leave it aside. It doesn't need to be long. Later, we'll tuck it inside. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through. 2 loops. Yarn over, go into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through. 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through all loops on the hook. That's the second double crochet decrease. So this round uses only double crochet decreases. Now this is the third decrease. Turn it around and continue. Close the decrease. It will form a small circle like this. Fourth double crochet decrease. Turn again like this. You'll see the last 2 stitches make the 5th decrease. Then remove the last stitch marker. Turn and finish the 5th double crochet decrease. Once done, tuck the yarn tail inside. Just hide it in there. No need to stuff its hits, fine as is. After finishing the bud, you'll sew it onto the edge like this. Leave the yarn tail in there. It's fine. No need to weave it in. Now go back to the beginning stitch. Remove the stitch marker and slip stitch at that spot. Yarn over and pull through to finish off. Then cut the yarn, leave a bit of a tail for sewing later. After cutting, pull the yarn tail out. Tighten it slightly like this. It will naturally form a small bump. We'll crochet 15 green buds and 15 white buds. Once done, set them aside and we'll assemble later. Alright, now let's begin assembly. Assembly means sewing them on. We'll sew them onto the leaf area. Let me explain how to attach the bud. When sewing the bud, you can insert a few stitches through the open base. Just 1 or 2 stitches are fine. Sew once or twice. This helps to secure the base slightly. Then position it next to the completed leaf. Just near this area is fine. Pick up a little bit of yarn. Then catch a bit from the bud and sew it together like this. Then pick up a bit more. Alright? That holds it in place. Once it's secure, you can weave the yarn tail through this area. Pick up a bit of yarn from the edge. If you have a better way of finishing, feel free to use your method. Here, I just pick up a little yarn, thread it through the loop like this, tie it off to secure a knot. Then tuck it inside here and trim the yarn. If you want it more secure, add extra stitches. The green one is done the same way, just like this one. Now let's look at how to assemble the flower. We'll sew the flower. This part here, it will be attached to the base stem of the flower. Now when assembling, we generally place it in this leaf area. First hold it in place. Align it with this spot. Here we pick up some yarn from the leaf, then sew the flower stem through alternately. Because if you sew across directly, you might see different colors showing on this side. So try to pick up stitches on this side only. Then again, pick up a bit of yarn like this. Stitch it through the stem part. After that, you can continue stitching like this. Flip it over a little. Pick up the yarn on this side while looking at it. Just like that. There's no special technique for this. You just need to secure one flower. One leaf, one flower, one bud. Just sew one flower next to one leaf. Then weave the yarn tail through again. Bring it through the circle. Just stitch through this round space here. or use a simpler method. Just use your hands to loop the yarn like this. Tie a knot at the bottom here, and then thread the yarn through from the inside, like this. Just pull it through. Then trim the excess. This knot I just pulled out didn't land right at the bottom. You can also bring it upward. Thread it into the inner layer. Once you've assembled all the flowers, you can flip them out like this. And that's the method for assembling. We alternate one flower and one green bud, then one flower and one white bud. Let's take a look at the finished effect. Here it's staggered, one flower, one bud, one jasmine flower, one bud, then one more jasmine flower. The colors are staggered this way. All right, that's the end of the jasmine flower tutorial.